Have you ever felt stuck when trying to find the right English word? Maybe you understand everything you read, but speaking feels harder. Don't worry, you're not alone. Building a strong vocabulary takes time, but it's easier than you think. Hi, I'm Emily, and in today's episode, we'll explore how to grow your English vocabulary naturally. We'll talk about why words matter more than grammar and how they shape your confidence. Together, we'll discover smart and simple ways to learn new words every day. Whether you're reading, listening, or speaking, every moment can be a chance to learn. I'll also share a few personal tricks that help me remember and actually use new words. So, grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's make learning English feel fun again. Do you remember the first English word you ever learned? Maybe it was hello or thank you or something from a favorite movie. That small moment was the beginning of your connection with the language. Words are more than sounds or letters. They are the bridge between thoughts and people. Without them, communication becomes almost impossible. Imagine trying to describe your day without using words, only gestures and sounds. It wouldn't get you very far, right? That's why vocabulary is the real heart of any language. Grammar helps structure your message, but vocabulary gives it meaning. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, the right words can still carry your idea across. Think of a learner who says, "I yesterday go market." It's not correct grammar, but everyone still understands what they mean. That's the power of words. They connect people even through mistakes. In fact, communication is not about perfection, it's about understanding. And understanding starts with vocabulary. When you know more words, your brain has more tools to think clearly. You start noticing details, expressing emotions, and describing ideas better. You also gain confidence because you can finally say what you truly want to say. That confidence changes everything. Suddenly, conversations feel less scary. Watching movies becomes easier. Reading books feels exciting instead of exhausting. It's like unlocking new doors every time you learn a word. Each new word gives you access to a new world. And that's why vocabulary matters more than we often realize. Many learners spend years studying grammar rules but still struggle to speak. Why? Because grammar alone doesn't give you words to express yourself. It's like having a beautiful car, but no fuel. Vocabulary is the fuel that makes communication move forward. It allows you to express feelings like joy, frustration, or surprise. It helps you tell stories, ask questions, and share dreams. And the more words you have, the richer your English becomes. You can paint ideas with precision instead of guessing. You can connect with others more deeply. And most importantly, you can think in English, not just translate. That's when true fluency starts, when English becomes a part of your thoughts. Think about how children learn their first language. They don't start with grammar books. They listen, repeat words, and connect them to meaning. They build vocabulary first, then grammar follows naturally. You can learn English the same way, through curiosity, exposure, and practice. So, whenever you learn a new word, don't treat it like a rule to memorize. Treat it like a new friend you're getting to know. Use it, play with it, repeat it in different situations. The more you use it, the stronger the friendship becomes. Your goal isn't to collect difficult words. It's to use simple, useful ones naturally. Because communication isn't about showing off big words. It's about being understood clearly and sincerely. Even native speakers prefer clarity over complexity. So if you sometimes feel your English isn't advanced enough, remember this. Knowing a few words that you can use well is better than knowing many you can't. Vocabulary isn't a list. It's a living part of your daily life. The more you interact with it, the more alive your English becomes. So, let's start valuing words not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Each new word is a step toward confidence and connection. And every time you learn one, you're not just learning English, you're learning a new way to see the world. Let's be honest, learning new words isn't always easy. You study hard, you memorize, and then you forget. It happens to everyone. even to people who've been learning English for years. You learn a new word today, but tomorrow it's gone. And when you try to speak, your mind goes completely blank. You know the word is somewhere in your brain, but you just can't find it. Sound familiar? That's one of the most common struggles language learners face: forgetting. It's not that your memory is bad, it's just how the brain works. Our brains need repetition, connection, and emotion to remember things. Seeing a word once isn't enough. You have to meet it again and again. It's like meeting a person only once. You probably won't remember their name, but if you see them often, your brain starts to recognize them naturally. That's how vocabulary works too. Another common challenge is passive vocabulary. You can understand a word when you read or hear it, but can't use it when speaking. That's because recognition is easier than recall. It's one thing to understand, another to produce. Your brain says, "Oh, I know this word," but your mouth stays silent. To make words active, you need to use them in real communication. Speaking, writing, repeating. That's how they move from your memory to your voice. But many learners hesitate to speak because they're afraid of mistakes. They think, what if I say it wrong? What if people laugh? Let me tell you, no one becomes fluent without mistakes. Mistakes are not signs of failure, they are signs of progress. Every time you use a word, even imperfectly, your brain learns faster. If you wait until you're ready, you'll wait forever. Confidence grows from action, not from perfection. Another struggle is choosing the wrong words to learn. Many learners focus on difficult or rare words because they sound smart. They memorize meticulous or abundance, but forget words like tired or hungry. But the truth is, daily communication depends on simple, practical vocabulary. It's better to know hungry and use it confidently than to know famished and freeze. Useful words are the ones that fit your life, your job, your hobbies, your world. If you can't imagine using a word in real life, it's probably not worth your time yet. Focus on the words that help you survive daily conversations. Start small, stay consistent, and build naturally. Another challenge? Motivation. In the beginning, learning feels exciting. New words, new sounds, new goals. But after a few weeks, progress slows down and frustration appears. That's when most learners stop. They think they're not improving, but they actually are, just quietly. Language growth is like fitness. You don't see muscles grow every day, but one day you look back and realize you're stronger. The same goes for English. Progress happens slowly, then suddenly. So when you forget a word, don't feel bad. It's part of the process. Forgetting means your brain is learning which words matter. Each time you review or reuse it, you're building stronger memory paths. It's also normal to mix up words or pronounce them wrong. Even native speakers do that all the time. The key is to keep going. Speak, listen, read, and repeat. Don't aim for perfect memory. Aim for regular contact with English. And finally, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at a different pace, depending on time, exposure, and mindset. What matters is that you're showing up, learning, and trying again. Because every effort counts. Every mistake teaches you something. Every new word brings you one step closer to fluency. So next time you forget a word or get stuck while speaking, smile. It means you're learning, growing, and doing exactly what you should be doing. Becoming a more confident English speaker, one word at a time. Let's talk about one of my favorite ways to grow your English vocabulary: reading. It sounds simple, right? But it's incredibly powerful. When you read, you see words in real situations, not just isolated lists. You don't just memorize meanings. You understand how words live in context. That's what makes reading such a natural teacher. Think about it. When you read a story, your brain connects words to emotions and events. You see how words express feelings, actions, and ideas. That emotional link helps your memory hold on to them longer. You're not just reading, you're living the language. And the best part? You can choose what you love. You don't have to start with Shakespeare or academic texts. Pick something light, a short story, a blog, or even an article about your favorite topic. If you enjoy cooking, read recipes. If you like travel, read trip diaries. If you love movies, read film reviews in English. When you enjoy the topic, learning becomes effortless. Your motivation comes from curiosity, not pressure. Some learners think reading is too hard because of unknown words. But here's a secret. You don't need to understand every word. Focus on the general meaning first. Context will help you guess most of the new words naturally. It's like putting together a puzzle. Piece by piece, the picture becomes clear. And when you find a new word you like, write it down. Keep a small notebook or use your phone. But don't just copy the word in translation. Write a short example sentence, something personal to you. For example, instead of writing delicious to be tasty, you can write, "My mom's soup is delicious." That connection makes it stick in your brain much longer, because now the word has meaning in your own world. Here's another tip. Read out loud. When you speak the words, you train your mouth and your memory at the same time. It's like combining reading and speaking practice in one. You'll also feel more confident hearing your own voice in English. Start with short, easy texts and increase difficulty gradually. Even 10 minutes a day can make a big difference over time. The key is consistency, not perfection. Think of reading as a habit, like brushing your teeth. A few minutes daily will help you grow faster than hours once a week. And don't forget to review your notes. At the end of each week, go back to your notebook. Read your example sentences aloud and use those words in new sentences. You can even tell a short story using them. That's how you move words from passive memory to active speech. Reading also improves your sense of grammar and rhythm without studying rules. You start to feel the language, not just analyze it. You see how words combine naturally and which phrases sound right. Your brain picks up the structure automatically. It's the same way children learn, through exposure and repetition. So, the more you read, the more English becomes part of your thinking. You'll find yourself using new expressions without even realizing it. Another great idea is to read the same text twice. The first time for general understanding, the second time for noticing details. You'll be surprised how much more you notice the second time. And if you find a quote or sentence that inspires you, write it down. Read it every morning. It's both motivation and practice. Finally, remember that reading isn't a test. You don't have to read fast or perfectly. Enjoy the process, slow down, and let the words flow through you. Reading is one of the most personal ways to learn a language. It allows you to connect deeply with stories, ideas, and emotions. Every paragraph you read builds your confidence. Every new word you meet expands your world a little more. So tonight, pick something small to read in English. Keep it simple, keep it fun, and let your curiosity lead the way. Because reading doesn't just teach you words. It teaches you to think, feel, and dream in English. Have you ever learned a new word and then completely forgotten it a few days later? It's so common that almost every language learner experiences it. You read, repeat, maybe even write it down, but it still disappears. That's because our brains aren't designed to remember everything at once. They need time, rhythm, and repetition to make memories stick. And that's where a powerful technique comes in: spaced repetition. It might sound technical, but it's really simple. Spaced repetition means reviewing words at specific intervals, not all at once. Instead of cramming today and forgetting tomorrow, you spread your review over time. The more you space it out, the stronger your memory becomes. Think of it like watering a plant. If you water it too much in one day, it won't grow faster. But if you water it regularly, just enough, the roots grow deep and strong. That's how vocabulary grows too, little by little with care and timing. So how does it actually work? Let's say you learn the word grateful. You study it today, then review it again tomorrow. A few days later, you see it again, then a week later. Each time you review, the word stays in your brain longer. Eventually, you won't need to review it anymore. It becomes part of you. This pattern takes advantage of how your brain naturally forgets things. When you almost forget a word and then remember it, your brain strengthens that memory. It's like lifting weights. Every almost forgot moment is a tiny workout for your memory. The beauty is, you don't need to track it all manually. There are amazing apps that do it for you, like Anki, Quizly, or Memories. They use algorithms to show you the right words at the right time. If you find a word easy, it waits longer before showing it again. If it's hard, it reappears sooner. That way, you focus on what you really need to practice. But even without apps, you can use the same principle with paper flashcards. On one side, write the English word. On the other, its meaning or an example sentence. Then schedule your reviews. Day 1, Day 3, Day 7, Day 14, and so on. Each session only needs a few minutes. The key is not duration, but consistency. You can do it on the bus, during a break, or while sipping coffee. Here's a trick I use. When reviewing a word, don't just read it silently. Say it out loud. Use it in a short sentence. For example, I'm grateful for this sunny morning. Visualize the meaning in your mind. Maybe the feeling of being thankful for something. When you connect sound, emotion, and imagination, your memory multiplies. It becomes a full experience, not just a mental note. Another tip, mix new and old words in your review sessions. That keeps your brain active and curious. And don't panic when you forget a word. Forgetting is actually part of learning. Every time you recall something you almost forgot, you make it stronger. So yes, even forgetting has a purpose. The goal is not to remember perfectly, but to review regularly. 5 to 10 minutes a day is all it takes. Over time, you'll notice words popping up naturally in your thoughts. You'll recognize them in movies, songs, and conversations. And you'll smile because you know them. That's the moment spaced repetition really shines. It transforms vocabulary from something you study into something you own. And the more you practice, the faster it works. Just like exercise, the hardest part is starting. But once you build the habit, it becomes second nature. So today, pick 5 words you've learned recently. Review them tonight, again tomorrow, then 3 days later. Keep the cycle going. Watch how easily your memory adapts. Because learning English isn't about speed, it's about rhythm. And with the right rhythm, your vocabulary will grow stronger every single day. Let's talk about something every English learner should have: a personal word bank. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful tools for building your vocabulary. Think of it like your own little treasure chest filled with useful, meaningful words. Every word you collect is a small piece of your English identity. Unlike a dictionary, your word bank is personal. It grows with your experiences. You don't need fancy software or complicated systems to start. All you need is a notebook, your phone, or even a few sticky notes. Whenever you come across a new word that feels important to you, write it down. Not just the word, but the meaning, a simple explanation, and most importantly, an example. And make that example about your life, not from a textbook. If you learn the word excited, don't write, "I am excited to learn English." Write something real, like, "I'm excited to see my best friend this weekend." The more personal your example, the easier it is to remember. That's because your brain connects the new word with emotion and experience. Learning becomes more meaningful when it's tied to your world. You can even add small drawings, emojis, or stickers to make it visual. It doesn't have to look perfect. It just has to feel yours. Some learners organize their word banks by themes like food, feelings, or travel. Others prefer to record words in the order they learn them. Both ways work fine. The goal isn't structure, it's consistency. Review your word bank at least once a week. Maybe every Sunday evening, spend 10 minutes going through your list. Read your sentences out loud and try using the words in new ones. If you can, tell a short story using 5 or 6 of those words together. That's a fun and powerful way to move vocabulary from memory to speech. And the best part? You'll actually see your progress grow page by page. At first, your list might look short, maybe only 10 words. But after a month, you'll have dozens. After a few months, maybe hundreds. Each one is a step forward, a sign of your progress. It's incredibly motivating to flip through your notebook and realize, wow, I know all these words now. And because they're words you chose, they stick longer and feel more natural. Here's another trick: color coding. Use one color for new words, another for reviewed ones, and a third for mastered ones. It's visual, fun, and gives you a clear sense of achievement. Your word bank doesn't have to be only for English either. You can include short phrases or idioms that you find interesting. Write what they mean, when to use them, and an example from real life. For instance, if you learn the phrase break the ice, you could write, it means to start a friendly conversation. Example, I told a joke to break the ice. Adding context makes phrases come alive. And don't forget pronunciation. Next to each word, write how it sounds, or note where the stress goes. When you read your list, say the words aloud. That small step improves both memory and speaking confidence. Over time, your word bank becomes more than just notes. It becomes your personal dictionary of life. Every page tells a story about your learning journey. You'll see words that remind you of songs, movies, or moments that taught you something new. And that's what makes it special. It's a reflection of you. So, if you haven't started yet, this is your sign. Grab a notebook, open a new document, and start writing down words that matter to you. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. Start with one word today, just one, then another tomorrow. Little by little, you'll create a powerful resource that belongs only to you. Because learning English isn't just about collecting words, it's about collecting experiences. And your word bank is the perfect place to keep them safe and growing. Now let's talk about the most important step in learning new vocabulary: using it. You can read lists, make flashcards, or keep notebooks, but if you never use the words, they fade away. It's like learning to swim by reading a book about swimming. You'll never feel the water until you jump in. The same goes for speaking English. You have to use the words out loud. The moment you start using them, they become part of you. You don't need to wait until you're ready. Fluency doesn't come from waiting. It comes from trying. Even if you make mistakes, that's how you grow. Every time you use a word, your brain reinforces it. You move it from passive memory into active memory, from knowing it to owning it. Start small. Pick one or two new words each day and find ways to use them in conversation. For example, if you learn grateful, you can say, I'm grateful for this beautiful weather. If you learn challenge, you can say, learning English is a fun challenge for me. You don't need a big audience. You can practice alone. Talk to yourself in English while cooking, driving, or walking. It might feel strange at first, but it works. The goal is to make your brain comfortable using English without hesitation. The more you speak, the faster your mind adapts. You'll notice that words start to appear naturally when you talk. Another great idea is to record yourself speaking. Just 1 or 2 minutes a day is enough. Choose a topic you like: your day, your weekend plans, your favorite food. Try to use a few of your new words in that recording. Then listen back. You'll hear your mistakes, your pronunciation, and your progress. You'll start to notice improvement week by week. It's like watching yourself grow in real time. If you have friends who are also learning English, talk to them in English. It doesn't have to be serious. Even short chats help a lot. Use your new words naturally, not as an exercise, but as part of real communication. You can also join language exchange groups online or find speaking partners. Remember, speaking isn't about sounding perfect. It's about being understood. If someone corrects you, thank them. That's how you learn faster. Mistakes are signs that you're pushing your limits, not failing. When you stop being afraid of mistakes, you open the door to fluency. Another helpful habit is to describe your day in English every night. Think of what happened, what you felt, what you did. Use your new words in those reflections. It's private, simple, and powerful. You can even write short notes or journal entries using the same idea. Writing helps you slow down, think clearly, and build stronger connections with the words. If you're shy, remember, no one needs to hear your practice. You're doing it for yourself. And every word you say, even alone, brings you closer to confidence. Here's something fun. Try using new words in creative ways. Write a funny sentence. Make a short story. Use the word in a joke or a song. Play with it. Language becomes easier when you treat it like play, not work. Your goal isn't to memorize words, but to make them part of your daily life. So next time you learn a word, don't just write it. Speak it. Use it in a sentence, a message, or a conversation. Say it until it feels natural. Because once you use it, it's yours forever. And if you keep using your new words, one day you'll realize something magical. You're not translating anymore. You're just speaking freely, confidently, and naturally. That's when you'll know your vocabulary has become part of who you are. Now, let's make vocabulary learning more fun. Because let's be honest, if learning feels boring, it's hard to stay consistent. But when it's fun, you don't even notice how much you're improving. So today, I want to share some enjoyable ways to grow your English vocabulary. The first one is simple. Play word games. Games like Wordscapes, Scrabble Go, or crossword puzzles make learning feel like playtime. You discover new words naturally while having fun. It's the perfect mix of learning and entertainment, and you can challenge yourself or play with friends to stay motivated. The second way is through movies, shows, or YouTube videos in English. When you watch with subtitles, you connect sounds, meanings, and emotions. It's like learning without studying. You hear how words are actually used in real life. Try this. Pause a video when you hear a new word. Write it down, say it aloud, and then repeat the line like the actor. It's not just vocabulary practice, it's pronunciation training too. If you love music, that's another amazing tool. Listen to your favorite English songs, look up the lyrics, and sing along. Music helps you remember words through rhythm and emotion. Even if you don't understand every line, you'll start to recognize patterns. Some of the best learners I know learned English through pop songs. They sang their way to fluency, one chorus at a time. Another fun trick, podcasts. Yes, you're listening to one right now, but there are thousands out there. Pick topics you love: travel, food, psychology, sports, anything. When you enjoy the subject, learning the vocabulary feels effortless. You can listen on your commute, at the gym, or while cooking. And if you find an interesting phrase, pause and repeat it. The more you hear natural English, the faster your brain adapts. Next up, labeling your environment. It may sound silly, but it works wonders. Grab some sticky notes and label objects around your home in English. Write mirror, door, fridge, notebook. Every time you see them, your eyes reinforce the connection. Soon, you'll think in English without translating. It's one of the simplest yet most effective techniques. Another creative way, follow English content related to your passions. If you love fashion, follow English fashion channels. If you enjoy gaming, watch gamers who speak English. When you mix language with something you already enjoy, it sticks naturally. You're not forcing yourself, you're feeding your curiosity. And here's a little challenge. Switch your phone or app settings to English. At first it might feel confusing, but soon you'll start learning everyday words faster. It's an easy way to surround yourself with English without adding study time. Learning vocabulary doesn't always have to be serious. You can laugh, sing, play, and still learn deeply. Because when your brain is happy, it remembers better. Even watching funny videos or memes in English can help. They use simple, natural language that people really speak. You can even comment or join discussions to practice writing. The more interactive it is, the more you'll remember. And don't forget to celebrate your small wins. Every new word you learn deserves a little moment of pride. Say it out loud and smile. It's yours now. Fun learning builds confidence and consistency. You'll start to look forward to learning instead of forcing it. So the next time you sit down to study, make it playful. Use games, songs, movies, or any medium you love. Surround yourself with English that excites you. When learning feels like joy, it becomes a habit. And habits, not pressure, are what lead to fluency. Remember, language is meant to be lived, not just learned. So go ahead, find your fun way to learn, and let English become part of your everyday happiness. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've talked about simple, powerful ways to grow your English vocabulary. Remember, it's not about speed. It's about progress, one word at a time. Even 5 minutes a day can make a big difference if you stay consistent. Don't worry about mistakes or forgetting. They're part of the journey. Keep reading, speaking, and having fun with the language. Every new word is a small step toward confidence and connection. Be patient, stay curious, and celebrate every little win. You're learning something that will open doors and connect you to the world. So keep going, one word, one sentence, one conversation at a time.